Tonya could be seen in her room with her friends, looking at her wedding gown, because her wedding is around the corner, and Maxwell is the lucky man. As they were all in happy mood looking at the wedding gown that just arrived, her mother knocked and came inside the room and was surprised to see her daughter and her friends excited. "What's going on here? Why the noise?" she asked surprisingly. "Good afternoon, ma," the guests greeted at the same time. "Afternoon. So what's happening here? Because I heard the noise of you girls from afar when I was returning home from the market." "So what's the occasion?" she asked again, but this time she was smiling. "Mom, you were asking what's going on? Like you can't see the wedding gown that I'm holding?" "Mom, my wedding gown just arrived," Tonya said excitedly. Oh, I am just seeing it right now." "Wow, this is very beautiful, and I'm sure Maxwell will like it," Tonya's mother said, looking at the wedding gown. He will not just like it, but he will love it. I will call him right away to tell him that my wedding gown has arrived." "Better do so, my dear. Anyways, let me go to all my friends' house to show them their shabby clothes that I bought from the market so that they can buy. You know that day of your wedding, my friends will be there to make it very hot. Well, let me rush to their houses before they go out," Tonya's mother said, and then left. "Baby girl, why not put on your wedding gown? Let's see how it looks on your body," Stephanie, one of Tonya's friends, said. And then she blushed. "Like seriously, this wedding gown is so beautiful," Becky admired. "Thank you, girl. I can't just wait for that day to come to become Maxwell's wife. You know he's the love of my life, right?" Tonya said in a romantic tone and kissed her wedding gown. "Chai, our friend is madly in love, oh." "Don't worry, Tonya. It's remaining only 4 days for you to walk down the aisle with the love of your life," Victoria playfully said, and the guests laughed. Just then, Tonya's phone began to ring, and she checked the caller. It was Maxwell. When she saw his call, she smiled before taking the call. "Hello, love," Tonya said immediately she picked the call. "Hi, honey. How are you?" Maxwell said over the phone. "I am fine, love. Just that I've really missed you. Can you please come to my house today after work? Because I want to show you something. But I thought we saw this morning before I went to work. Anyway, what is it that you want to show me? Can't you tell me on the phone?" Maxwell said. My love, it's not what I can talk on the phone. And besides, aren't you coming this evening as we agreed this morning?" Tonya asked, trying to be sure. "My dear, I don't think I will be able to come again because I've promised my parents that we'll come and see them this evening after work for the preparation of our wedding. You know the wedding is around the corner," Maxwell explained. "Oh, okay. Anyways, I just wanted to show you my wedding gown. It has arrived, and I'm here with my friends checking it out," Tonya said excitedly. "Wow. I can't wait for that day to come for you to put it on and for me to take you to the altar where we'll both say, 'I do,'" Maxwell said, and Tonya blushed over the phone. They talked about some other things and then ended the call. 4 days later, it was the D-Day, which is the wedding day. Everyone which was invited to the wedding were seated in the church waiting for the bride and groom to come. Even the pastor was waiting for them to come so that he can start the wedding service. After waiting for some minutes, not too long, Tonya walked into the church wearing her beautiful wedding gown with her maid of honor, flower girls, bridesmaids, and her little bride. As they all sat down, Tonya was surprised that Maxwell was not in the church yet because she expected him to be in the church before her. After some minutes, Maxwell's parents and his uncles came to the church, and they were surprised as well that their son was not in the church. The pastor who has been waiting decided to ask Tonya about Maxwell's whereabouts. Sister Tonya, what's delaying the groom? Look at the time. It's 20 minutes past the time we are supposed to start the service. Where is he? Have you called him? Pastor Austin asked anxiously. Yes, Pastor. I called him 40 minutes ago and he told me that he was already on his way coming. But by now he's supposed to be here, the pastor asked again. I know, Pastor, but please let's wait for him a little. I believe he will be here any moment from now, Tonya assured the pastor, and he went back to the altar waiting for the groom. As Tonya continued to wait for Maxwell to come, her heart was pounding and her mother asked, My daughter, what's going on? Why haven't Maxwell come yet? The guests we invited are already getting tired of waiting. But have you called him to know what's delaying him? No, Mom, I haven't called him, apart from the one I called him when we were coming, Tonya said sadly. You have to call him again to know what's delaying him because we are running out of time, Tonya's mother insisted, and Tonya picked up her phone to call Maxwell. The phone rang, but he wasn't picking his call, so she had to call him over and over again, and still he didn't take his call. Mom, Maxwell is not picking his call though, and I'm beginning to get scared. She hasn't finished her statement before the pastor walked up to her, but this time he was very angry. Sister Tonya, what's really going on? Because I don't understand all this anymore. Where is your groom? This is almost 1 hour past the time we are supposed to start the wedding service. Have you called him to know what is delaying him? Pastor Austin asked again. Yes, Pastor. I have called him several times, but Maxwell is not picking up, Tonya replied in a worried tone. Please, Pastor, let's give Maxwell some time. I believe he will come soon, Tonya's mother told the pastor, and he sighed before leaving for his seat. After waiting for too long, the guests that came for the wedding started murmuring and leaving one after the other. When Tonya saw this, she rushed to where Maxwell's parents were sitting, almost in tears. Sir, Ma, please, what did Maxwell tell you people is holding him? She asked, panting. He hasn't called us yet. And besides, we are equally confused on why he's not here yet. This is unlike him. But have you called him to know where he is? Maxwell's father asked with a concerned tone. Yes, sir, I have called him, but he's not taking his call, Tonya replied sadly. Brother, I told you that your son Maxwell is an unserious human being. That boy can never be serious for once. I just wasted my time coming here with you people. If I had known that this would happen, I wouldn't have bothered myself coming here, Maxwell's uncle angrily said, and the other uncles nodded in agreement. Please, my brother, don't talk like that. You of all people supposed to know Maxwell. This is unlike him. I am equally confused on what's going on here, Maxwell's father said to his brother. You know what, my daughter? We shouldn't give up yet. I believe Maxwell will still come. Let's just exercise some more patience, Maxwell's mother said to Tonya. Just hear yourself. You are telling us to exercise a little more patience, that Maxwell will come when all the guests had all gone. As Maxwell's uncle was bawling in anger, all of a sudden, Tonya's phone began to ring. To her surprise, it was Maxwell. Immediately, she picked the call. Hello, love. How are you? Where are you? What happened to you? Are you okay? I've been calling you, but you are not taking your calls. I am sorry, Tonya. The wedding cannot hold. As I'm speaking to you right now, I am on my way to the airport going to UK. I am sorry I can't marry you because I'm in love with someone else and she is in the United Kingdom. I am going there to be with her, Maxwell said and hung the call. Immediately Maxwell hung the call, Tonya stood in shock and the phone she was holding fell from her and she screamed, which made her mother and the pastor rush towards her. My daughter, what's the matter? Her mother asked in anxiety. But Tonya didn't say anything. She just stood like someone who had lost her mind. Please, Sister Tonya, what's the matter? Talk to us, Pastor Austin asked. But still, she refused to speak up. Oh my God. What could be wrong with my daughter? What happened? Tonya's mother asked Maxwell's parents. We don't know either. We were here talking with her before our phone rang, which seems to be my son calling her. But after the conversation on the phone, she screamed, Maxwell's father explained. Please calm down, my in-law. Let's try to find out from her what Maxwell told her on the phone, Maxwell's mother added. You are saying we should find out from her what your son told her on the phone? Can't you see she refused to talk? See, if anything happens to my daughter, I will not take it lightly with your son. She's all I've got, Tonya's mother warned. Nothing will happen to her. Let's give her some minutes. I believe she will speak up, Maxwell's mother having finished her statement before Sonia screamed again. But this time, tears was dropping from her eyes. My daughter. Tonya, please talk to me, your mother. What is happening? Why are you crying? Mom? Maxwell has cancelled the wedding, Tonya finally said. Jesus! That can't be possible, Tonya's mother said in disbelief. But why will he cancel the wedding? Pastor Austin asked confused. I still can't believe that my son will cancel the wedding. But what was his reason? Maxwell's father asked in disbelief as well. He said that he's in love with someone else. As we speak now, he's on his way to UK. But what did I do to deserve this from Maxwell? Tonya said with tears, while her mother was consoling her. My God will punish him. Maxwell will know no peace in his life for doing this to you. My daughter, please stop crying. He doesn't want your tears at all. A better man will come, that I will assure you. Maybe Maxwell is not meant for you, Tonya's mother said, still consoling her. And even the pastor and others were also consoling her. Woman, have you seen what your son had caused? If you had raised him well, will he behave like this? Maxwell's father blamed his wife. Oh, now he's my son, Okwaya. Is he not your son as well? Are you not the one that spoiled him? If he did anything bad and I tried to caution him, you will tell me to leave him, that he will change when he grows up. Now look at what he has turned into. Maxwell's mother blamed her husband too. I don't know what you people are talking of, but if I get that son of yours that called himself Maxwell, he will regret the day he came to ask for my daughter's hand in marriage, Tonya's mother angrily threatened. After that day, Tonya became the talk of the streets. Some were gossiping and mocking her, while others felt pity for her. Tonya, on the other hand, locked herself in the room crying. She refused to eat and even refused to bathe. Days passed, weeks also passed, and yet she hadn't gotten over the event. Her mother had tried begging her to get over it, that a better man will come, but she refused. Even her friends had told her to move on, that Maxwell doesn't want it. But still, Tonya refused to listen to any of them. 1 year later, Tonya had finally forgotten everything about Maxwell and moved on with her life because she had come to realize that maybe Maxwell was not meant for her. But as time went on, she met another man named Frank and they started dating. After dating for some months, Frank finally proposed to her, which she gladly accepted, and the wedding date was fixed. The day of the wedding, Frank didn't show up, and that was when Tonya knew that something was wrong somewhere. God, have I offended you? What wrong have I done to deserve all this disappointment from men? Why is it that any man that wants to marry me, on the day of our wedding, they will not show up? God, why do you watch all this happen to me? First it was Maxwell, and now it's Frank. God, why? Why me? Tonya lamented while in her room. Not too long, her mother came in and shook her head in pity, and then sighed before sitting down beside her daughter on the bed. My daughter, are you still crying over this? I have told you before to stop crying. Remember that you are all that I've got ever since your father died. If you continue crying like this every day, how do you want me, your mother, to feel? Please stop crying, my daughter, her mother consoled. But Mom, I am tired of all this. Why is it that on my wedding day of all days, that's when these men keep disappointing me? I thought Frank would be different from Maxwell, but I got it all wrong. Mom, I'm tired of everything. I just feel like killing myself, Tonya said with tears dropping from her eyes. No, my daughter, don't talk like that. You will not kill yourself. Look, let me tell you something. Remember, every disappointment is a blessing. Just take it that Maxwell and Frank are not meant for you. But what they did to you, my God will punish them for us. Stop crying, my daughter. It is well. Anyways, I was just coming from Mama Stella's house, and she told me about her prophet. She said that the prophet is a very strong man of God, that he will help you out, because I don't think that all this is ordinary. Tomorrow morning, we will go to her house, and she will take us to the man of God. Okay? Tonya's mother said, and Tonya only nodded her head without saying anything. The next day, very early in the morning, Tonya and her mother went to Mama Stella's house, and from there, she took them to her church to go see the prophet. On getting to the church, they saw the man of God, and he ushered them to his office and offered them a seat. You are welcome to my ministry. So, Sister Dorcas, who are these people that came with you? The prophet asked, pointing at Tonya and her mother. Daddy, this is my friend Maria and her daughter. They are the people I called you on the phone and told you about. Tonya here is the lady that usually gets disappointed on her wedding day. The prophet sighed and then looked at Tonya. My sister, this is not ordinary. Give me your hands. When Tonya did, he closed his eyes and started murmuring some things. After some seconds of murmuring, all of a sudden, he screamed, letting go of her hands. Somebody from your mother's family is responsible for all that had been happening to you. Somebody from my mother's side? And who could that be? Tonya asked surprisingly. Please, man of God, who is that person from my family that is responsible for my daughter's predicament? Please tell us, Tonya's mother asked confusedly, and the prophet sighed again. Do you have any younger sister? Yes, I do. I have just one. Her name is Ezine. She lives at the village, her mother replied confusedly. All right. That your younger sister is the cause of your daughter's problem, the prophet said. What? My auntie the cause of my problem? But how is that even possible? Tonya exclaimed. So my sister Ezine has been responsible for my daughter's problem all this while. One that shall never cease, Tonya's mother said surprisingly. But man of God, what have I done to my auntie to deserve this from her? What wrong have I committed? Tonya sadly said. That I do not know. I have played my part by revealing the person responsible for your problem. So all you need to do is to find out from her what wrong you did to her. Once you confront her, your problem will be solved, the prophet said, and tears dropped from Tonia's eyes. Don't worry, my daughter. Leave my sister to me. Thank you, man of God, for revealing our enemy to us. Come, Tonya, let's go, her mother said, and Tonya stood up for them to go. But Mama Stella stopped them. Maria. Do you want to live with your daughter just like that without appreciating the man of God? Abba, they don't do things like that, Mama Stella said. But I've thanked him. Shh. Come, let's go to one side and talk, Mama Stella said, and Tonia's mother followed her aside. Mama Stella, what do you want us to talk about? Tonia's mother asked, confused. Which one is what you want us to talk about? Don't you know that you are supposed to appreciate the man of God for the revelation? Even in your church, don't you appreciate your pastor? You are supposed to do the normal thing without me telling you now. You just want to live with your daughter just like that? It is not fair, Mama Stella said in a low tone. Okay, I'm not sorry about that. I don't know that money will be involved here. Like how much will I give to him now? Tonia's mother asked. I beg, just wire him like 20,000 naira. You are more than that, Mama Stella said. And after that, they went back to where the prophet was sitting. And Tonia's mother transferred the money for him. And then they left. 2 days later, Tonya and her mother traveled to the village and they confronted Izini. I don't know what you people are talking about. Oh. I am innocent of this accusation, Izini said confusedly. Shut up. I know you will deny it, evil woman. After everything I did for you and your children, you still have the mind to cause problem in my daughter's life. You are very wicked, Izini. No wonder you and your children don't progress in this village. I know you are jealous of my daughter because she's progressing more than your children. You see those your sons? They will never move forward because of what you did to my daughter. Tonia's mother insulted her sister. Auntie, but you are very wicked though. What did I do to you that you want to ruin my life? Me, your niece, Tonya added. Oh my God. I sincerely don't know what you people are talking about. I am innocent, Ezine insisted, and Tonia's mother hissed. After everything, Tonya and her mother returned back to the city and then went back to the prophet, and he prayed for them and told Tonya that she was free, that she can marry without any problem again, which she was very happy to hear. Some months later, Tonya found love again in Richmond and they loved each other. Richmond loved and adored her. He was every woman's dream. Richmond was different from Maxwell and Frank because his love towards Tonya was too much. And with this, Tonya was very happy that finally she was free from the bondage of disappointment. Her mother was happy for her as well. 1 year later, Richmond proposed to Tonya and she gladly accepted because why not? After some months, their wedding date was fixed. Their wedding cards were printed and they gave them out to their invitees. Finally, it was the day for their wedding and Tonya wore her beautiful wedding gown and she was accompanied by her mother, little bride, flower girls and some family friends, and they all went to the church, remaining the groom to come. They waited for Richmond to come. They waited and waited, but he was nowhere to be found. After waiting for so long, a text came to Tonia's phone. She unlocked her phone to read the text, but what she saw shocked her. I am no more interested in the wedding because I found out that I, Richmond, don't love you. I just realized that I only lusted after you and I can't do this anymore. When she was done reading, her heart skipped. She couldn't believe that Richmond could send that. She wished everything was a dream, but too bad for her, it was a reality. No, This can't happen to me. Please, Lord, don't do this to me, she cried and tried to call Richmond, but his number wasn't connecting. She tried his number again, but this time, they said the number was not available, which means probably Richmond had blocked her from calling him. Not too long, her mother walked up to her and said, "My daughter, what's going on? What's happening to Richmond?" Her mother wasn't done with her statement when Tonya handed her phone over to her to read the text. When her mother finished reading it, she opened her mouth in surprise. Not again. No, this can't be happening again. My daughter, but have you called him to confirm from him, to know if he's actually the one that sent this text to you? Her mother asked, trying to be sure. I have called his number, but it seems he had blocked me from calling him, the heartbroken Tonya said in a devastated tone. Hey, this is a serious problem, oh. I am finished. My enemies have succeeded again. What are we now going to tell the guests? What are we going to tell the pastor? How are we going to explain to them? God, who have we offended? Tonia's mother said, putting her two hands on her head. Meanwhile, Pastor Austin was standing at the altar boiling, looking at Tonya and her mother. He suspected that something was wrong. With anger, he went to where they were standing. Sister Tonya, where is your groom? He asked angrily, and Tonya just stood there heartbroken. Pastor, something came up, she stammered, because she didn't know how to explain it to him. What do you mean by something came up? Look at the time. It's almost 12:30 p.m. and we are supposed to start the wedding service around 10 a.m. Even the people that came for the wedding are tired of waiting and some had left. So where is the groom? And I don't want to hear something came up again. Antonia's mother sighed. Pastor, the thing is that the groom had cancelled the wedding. I thought as much, that the groom might have cancelled the wedding as usual. See, Sister Tonya, you are really giving me a tough time in this church. Among all the young ladies that we have in this church, you are the only one giving me problems. Sister Teresa that did her wedding last Saturday, was it not successful? What about Sister Ijoma, Sister Blessing, Sister Favor, and the other ones that did their weddings? Were their weddings not successful? But your own, something always come up year to year, month to month. Something must always come up on your wedding day. See, Sister Maria, I am tired of you and your daughter Tonya. I think it is high time I bound you both from coming to this church because you are giving my church a bad reputation, the pastor angrily said and walked away, while Tonya ran out of the church with tears without knowing where she was running to. All of a sudden, a bus that was coming with full speed hit her and Tonya fell on one side of the road, lying unconscious. When the bus driver saw this, with fear he ran away with his bus because he thought that Tonya was dead. It was a young man who was traveling with his car that saw Tonya lying unconscious on one side of the road that took her to the hospital because he believed that he was still alive. On getting to the hospital, Tonya was rushed to the emergency ward where she was attended to. The doctor called the young man to his office. Thank God that you brought your wife in time to the hospital. If not, it would have been another story, the doctor said immediately they got to the office. Thank God that she's alive. But point of correction, sir. She's not my wife, the young man explained, and the doctor was surprised. Really? I thought that she is your wife because she's still putting on her wedding gown and you were dressed in suits. I was thinking that you just got wedded before the incident, the doctor said. The young man explained everything to him, And from there, he paid the hospital bills and left the hospital to continue his journey because he was traveling for his mother's burial. The doctor was able to contact Tonia's mother and she rushed down to the hospital where her daughter was. Tonia spent 1 week in the hospital before she was discharged. And after she was discharged, she didn't stop crying because she never thought that Richmond could disappoint her on her wedding day. She thought that Richmond was different. She cried herself out and vowed never to have anything to do with men again until she finds solution to her problem. The next day at Maria's supermarket, Tonia's mother was seen sitting in her shop and thinking herself out. What is really going on with my daughter, Tonia? What's actually wrong? Because I know that all this happening to her is not ordinary. But I thought the man of God Mama Stella took us to said that my daughter is free from all this. Or does it mean that my sister Ezine is not actually the cause of my daughter's problem? I don't know what to think anymore. God, please come to my daughter's rescue, Maria thought to herself. Meanwhile, a customer had been standing there talking to her, but Maria was far lost in thought. So the customer had to tap her before she came back to reality. Madam, what's the matter? I've been standing here for some minutes talking to you, but you weren't responding. What are you thinking? The man asked. Antonia's mother sighed. It's nothing. Never mind. So what do you want? What do you want to buy? Maria asked in a worried tone. Madam, are you sure everything is okay? The man asked with a concerned tone. Yes, everything is fine. You know what? Go and meet one of my girls there. They will attend to you, Maria said, and the man shook his head in pity before he left to meet the girls. When he was done purchasing, he came back to Maria again and asked her what the problem was, but she refused to open up to him. After much persuasion, she finally told him everything, and the man promised to help her. He told her that he would take her to his prophetess. On hearing this, Maria refused because she feels that all prophetess or prophets are not truthful. But the man assured her that his prophetess is different and powerful, which Maria decided to give a try, and they exchanged numbers. Some days later, Tonia's mother called the man and he took him to his church, which is Celestial Church. On getting there, Maria explained everything Tonia was going through to the prophetess, and the prophetess went into prayer. After some moments of praying, the prophetess sighed heavily and told Maria that her daughter Tonia is suffering from spiritual husband, that the only way Tonia will be free is to separate her from the spiritual husband, that without that, she can never be free from what was happening to her. The prophetess told Maria to bring her daughter the following week so that she can perform some rituals and prayers for her by the riverside in order to separate her from the spiritual husband. She also told her to bring 2 white goats, 15 white hens, 25 liters of palm oil, and 200,000 naira when she returns with her daughter. After that, Maria went home and told Tonia about what the prophetess said. At first, Tonia was against it because the requirements were way too much. Mom, I'll be advised we forget about the so-called prophetess. I am not interested, Tonia said in disagreement. My daughter, it is for your own good I'm doing this, so let's give this a try. After all, we can afford the requirements. Please think about it, her mother tried to convince her. Mom, there is nothing to think about here. I am not interested in all these prophets and prophetess. I am tired of it. That was how Mama Stella's pastor told us that Auntie Ezine was the cause of my problem. That if we confront her, I will be free from this predicament. But after our confrontation to the innocent woman, nothing still changed. See, Mom, I am not interested. Just let me be with my problem. I am even tired of men, Tonia insisted. And her mother pleaded for her to change her mind on her decision. She still refused. After much persuasion from her mother, she finally agreed to give it a try. On a Saturday afternoon, Tony and her friend Becky were walking into a boutique to buy clothes when Tonya mistakenly bumped into a guy. "I am so sorry for bumping into you. It wasn't intentional," she apologized, but the man was lost looking at her, and she was surprised why he was still looking at her. "Like I said before, I am sorry." "Becky, let's go," Tonya hurriedly said and wanted to leave with her friend, but the man's voice stopped them. "Your face looked familiar." "Have we met before?" the man asked Tonya, and also trying to recall where he knew her from. "Sorry, I don't think we have met. Please, Tonya, let's leave this man and go and buy clothes. I don't have much time to waste." "Remember, I'm going out around 5 p.m. Becky interrupted because she was pissed. As all this was going on, the guy was still trying to recall where he knew Tonya from. And finally, he was able to remember. "Hey, I know we have met before. You are the lady I took to the hospital when you were lying unconscious on the road some months ago." Hey, Africantales by Kamma tribe, how are you all doing? For me, I am doing just fine. Now let me ask you, what do you think is wrong with Tonya? Let me read everything you think is going on in Tonia's life in the comment section. Have you liked the story? If you have not, what are you waiting for? Kindly like and share with your loved ones. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and join our tribe. If you like what Kamma is doing and you love to support me, kindly use the link on my bio or the link on the description of this video to buy me coffee. You can as well buy me a super thanks. Until I bring the next episode of this series your way, it is a goodbye from here, and God bless you.